Stern. When I say 8x8 and 33 touch, has everyone in here been through Ignite? Raise your hand. Everyone knows what 8x8 and 33 touch is, right? Good. So one touch, when we first meet someone, we want to build top of mind with them. That's why we do an 8x8, which is one touch a week for 8 weeks period of time. And then that gets us top of mind. And then over time, we have to stay there, right? And that's the 33 touch, so over time. What have we been told our return can be from going through and doing that? What's our ratio of return?
12 to 2.
Good, 12 to 2. So for every 12 people that I'll run through that process, 12 people, that I should see a return of 2 closed transactions.
The 33 touch class with the famous Caprice and Josh Stern is starting in the training room.
Just backing up what you're saying.
It's about a 16 to 17% return. Is that high? That's good, right? Okay, so do we have 10 people in here? 1, 2. I need 10 people to stand up for illustration. Sorry, camera, I know that's good. 10 people. We'll work go ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and Dan is 10. All right, so the NAR does surveys every single year of past home buyers and sellers, and they say, number 1, would you use your real estate agent again? Out of 10, guess how many said yes? I mean, 100%. Guess how? You think 10? You think it's 10? 5. 5? 8. So 2 of you sit down. Thank you. So
You two, they're not using it.
okay, so 8 said they would. Guess how many actually did?
2.
1 or 2.
Oh no. So now the rest of you, except for Barb, sit down because she arranged for the class. Why do you guys think that is?
You don't
8,
remember.
they said 8 will and 1 did.
Because the
Ouch.
agent didn't connect with them again?
So people are moving every 5 to 7 years. Are we staying in touch well?
No.
They'd use you. Did they forget about you? Maybe.
Calling you.
Oh, okay, thanks. You guys keep me on. There's Josh. We're about to find out, Alicia, if it's my microphone or yours.
Yeah. We've been loving Skype.
Turn your volume back
Let's see, I have this little camera, and I have no dials or anything on it. What would it be?
up. You turned the volume on the speaker.
It could be that simple. Josh?
Yeah, can you,
Yes. We can hear you. Can you hear us? Can you see my fine group of Orem agents?
you're a little bit pixelated, but you're looking pretty fine. Pretty fine.
So we were doing just a little recap on 8x8 and 33 touch.
Okay.
And also some of the NAR statistics around keeping in touch and people using their agent again. And I know that I talked to you about us keeping you for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Sure.
So I forwarded you some questions that I knew that I get on a regular basis from agents.
Okay.
Let's tell them. Can I brag about you for a minute, Josh?
I always like that.
Okay, good.
Good way to start.
I thought so too. So I had Rod send me a picture of our top-down report for the Salt Lake office. Would you guys like to know how Josh did in 2013?
Yes.
I would bet. That's a good answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so Josh, congratulations. I'm bringing it up.
Thank you.
Hold on. I know, sorry. Bringing it up. Okay, so here's my picture. Volume for 2013 was 31,937,000. 31,937,000. Sorry. I shorted you a little. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
That was a little bit. Yep.
31.9 million. Awesome. That means gross commission income of $938,712.
Woohoo! I can retire.
Can I tell them what kind of increase that was over last year?
Yeah.
So in 2012, your gross commission income was $529,000, which means from 2012 to 2013, you had an increase of $409,000 in gross commission income.
All right.
which represents a 77% increase. Is that awesome?
It's awesome. That's awesome.
So, Josh, congratulations on such an incredible 2013. We post these results in our office, so it's pretty regular for us to be able to see those. I just wanted the group to get to know a little bit about you. So let's jump right into this since we only have so much time with you.
Okay.
So let's talk about your first year in real estate and what that looked like.
Well, my first year in real estate didn't really start until my second year in real estate. But my first year in real estate, I worked for a different company and didn't really have the tools, the knowledge, or the skills to get me into being a business owner. So my first year in real estate, I closed 27 transactions, and I think my average sale price was around $106,000. My second year in real estate was my first year in real estate, and that was because Keller Williams happened in Salt Lake, and I was one of the original 23 people that went over to the company and put my faith in their business model. And 3 of those months in my first year with Keller Williams, we didn't even have a market center open yet. So in 9 months, I had closed 48 transactions with Keller Williams. And that was as a direct result of implementing the 8x8 and 33 touch marketing system.
Awesome. So you read the Red Book. I've heard you tell this story a little bit. You read the Red Book. You said, gosh, if they say I should get this 12-2 return, I'm going to put this to the test.
Yeah, I mean, my first year in business, it was a little bit frustrating because I never knew where my next deal was going to come from. So I felt like I was just trying anything and everything, and I didn't really enjoy any of it. When I read the Red Book, all of a sudden I realized that there was this like actual plan. Like, hey, if you do these things, you can expect to get this type of return. And being commissioned income, was sort of new for me. And so I didn't like the unpredictability of it. But when I read the Red Book and I learned about the 8x8 and 33 touch marketing system and this whole thing called 12-2 return, I was like, well, if I get a 12-2 return, then everything's predictable. So I think I'm just going to go and do that. So yeah, that was the first thing I did was start implementing that 8x8 33 touch marketing system.
So you read the book, you got the concept, and then it went to implementation. Was that easy to implement?
No, because nobody was doing it here. I was the first one here doing it. There wasn't all of this stuff called e-edge. There wasn't all of these pre-made materials that I could just send out. So I was just having to make stuff up. If you guys could see a picture of some of the stuff that I sent out, you would absolutely giggle.
So it used to be, I don't know, and we're going to get to this, how you actually implement and systematize that today. But okay, so year 2's done, you go back and you figure out how many of your deals came from your SOI. What kind of return did you get?
I forget the exact number of return. I think I ended up with like a 1 in 5.7 or 5.9 return. So basically a 1 in 6 return, which turns out to be the same thing as a 2 in 12 return. I just thought the people that wrote the book were bad at math. And so they forgot to reduce one more time to the lowest common denominator. So I actually got the 1 in 6, which turns out to be a 2 in 12 return as well.
Why do you think they did 12 and 2 now?
Well, I know very well now, and this is where a lot of people drop the ball, but see, a lot of that is because, well, half of that number, the 2 and 12, one of them is a referred transaction from your HAVMET database, and the other one is a direct transaction from your HAVMET database.
So that was year 2. Take us through 3, how many years is it in real estate now? 12, well, I don't know, 10, 11?
11, I'm coming up on my 12th. I know I've got to renew my license in May. That means that's year 12. So yeah, 12 years. This year, I haven't actually worked my numbers yet to see what my rate of return is, but I can tell you that year 3, year 4, year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8, year 9 were all better than a 6 in 1 return on my database. And so the big aha that I had is that the system actually works, and I figured out how to make it work. I think what happened is as I started growing, my numbers started growing, and my team started growing, those numbers changed a little bit. And so I don't expect that I'm going to have a 6 in 1 return. I bet this year we're going to have closer to like an 8 or a 9 in 1 return, which is still, figuring out the percentage is still a pretty darn good return. It's better than most people get.
Thank you.
I know why, too.
Thank you. Let's shift a little bit about the actual, some of the touches and things that you send. So do you have an opinion on direct mail versus email touches? What's your primary form of delivery for you?
The primary form of delivery has always been direct mail. And the reason why is I've taught this class a lot, and I've realized I've had past clients in the class that got into real estate because apparently I made it look easy. And as they're taking the class, they're sitting there, and I said, you get my stuff, right? Yeah, I get your stuff. Do you read my stuff? No. But they showed this little expression of, them getting the stuff and then tossing the stuff into the recycle bin, if you will. And what I realized is that it's more of a branding thing. It's more of the fact that they see the stuff that I'm sending out. They know that it's coming from me, and because I'm very religious about making 4 phone calls a year, that I'm always in front of them, when that stuff comes, they're always thinking about me as real estate, and that was the whole point of this anyway, so I don't really care what the message is of what it is that I send, but I do care that what I send actually has a consistent look, a brand, if you will. And initially that brand was just like a really lame picture of me. I looked like I was about 15 years old, and then Keller Williams, and then my contact information, and that was the brand. But the thing is it was consistent every single time. Now as the team's grown, the brand's obviously changed, but the brand is, the Stern team now. So they see it, they recognize the image. In fact, it's such a recognizable image now that when people see Keller Williams signs, they just kind of think it's my sign.
Mm-hmm. Good for you.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's exactly what we want.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the touches themselves. What are you sending in your 8x8? Let's start with an 8x8.
Well, let's see, the 8x8s, I know they're going to get 2. We do monthly newsletters to our SOI, like in print, and so they're going to get 2 monthly newsletters. Initially, they're going to get like a refrigerator magnet, a You're at a Glance magnet. So touch number 1 on the 8x8 is going to be You're at a Glance calendar. That's a refrigerator magnet. It's got our contact information and our brand up there. And that sort of sets the stage. And that's the only thing anybody ever really keeps anyway. And they always put it on their fridge, which is good. I know, because when I go to the listing appointment, they'll have one of them. Or if they've been in my SOI for a long time, they have enough of them sitting up there. So that's number 1. Number 2, it doesn't matter. Number 3, it doesn't matter. When I say it doesn't matter what you send. Just send something as long as it has a consistent look and a consistent brand. You can send them a recipe if you want. You can send them something about your local market if you want. You can send them something about your market expertise if you want. But what I've realized in all the years of doing this and all the changes that I've made with my 8x8 is it doesn't even matter what I send. It just matters that I send it. And because it's so important that this remains a prospecting-based activity, meaning that you're actually going to continue to stay in touch with these people. Weeks number 4 and weeks number 8 are phone calls. Those are the most important touches. The other thing that's really important about this is that it's 8 touches in 8 weeks. And that's where a lot of people will drop the ball when they're cementing a relationship. They'll send out 6 touches in 10 weeks. Or they'll send out 8 touches, but it takes 12 weeks to send it out. And it doesn't work if you don't do 8 touches in 8 weeks. So week number 4 is a phone call, week number 8 is a phone call. The very first touch is a You're at a Glance calendar. Then we send out a newsletter. We might send out a little marketing postcard about our success in real estate, or you can send it out for your office's success in real estate, and that's just fine. But the bottom line is simple. It doesn't matter what you send. It only matters that you send it.
Thank you. Do you feel the same about your 33 touch?
I feel exactly the same about the 33 touch. Now this year we did start doing something different. I've always been about tactile, meaning they have to pick it up and see that it's me on there and then throw it away. Well, this year 12 of the touches that we sent out in 2012 were video emails. So once a month I get together, I do with Lee, and I do a live video email about what's going on with our market, topical things. So we just sent out yesterday our January's video update, and it was about market predictions, what's going to happen in 2014. So we looked back at 2015, we briefly listed out some different statistics, and then we predicted what's going to happen in 2014, and the whole video was about 2 minutes long. Our video emails are usually pretty short, anywhere between 1 and 2 minutes. And we send that out using a great program called BombBomb, which they're a preferred vendor with Keller Williams. So we like the video emails, we like it a lot, our clients seem to like it, we get responses every time that we send it out.
And the nice thing with BombBomb is you can even look at your open rate, your watch rate, and see if that's penetrating, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't do that. Andy, who works on my team, watches that stuff, but I trust Andy. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the stuff gets looked at. That's the bottom line.
And it's been a favorable response so far?
Yeah, to actually get immediate response off of email, it's awesome, you know? It's awesome. One thing that's real important about the video email is that when it shows up in their inbox, it shows up like an HTML. So it's got our brand in it. You don't have to click on something extra to see the video. You see our pictures in the freeze frame of the video. You click on our picture and the video starts. So you don't have to go to another link. It's all embedded right there in the email. It's right in front of you. And that was really important to us.
So other than BombBomb, do you use any other systems or things that you could refer to people, like who produces your newsletter, or how is some of that getting done?
Yeah, so the newsletters themselves, we have a template that we use, and we just kind of fill in the template monthly, and then we send it out to worldwide mailing, which is now called the Direct Mail House, and that's actually in Salt Lake. Anybody could do it, but then they print them out for us, and they mail it out to our database for us. And it ends up costing us about 55 cents per piece to send out, which is cheaper than you can print them and stamp them and fold them and label them and all that kind of stuff yourself. So it's actually cheaper for us to do it through them than it is for us to do it ourselves.
Other than newsletter, how else do you produce other things that go out?
Well, so if they're postcards, you know, 4-up or 2-up postcards, a lot of times we'll just print those right in the office.
Okay.
Those are easy.
So
We
you're-
just use like Publisher, create the postcard, and then Publisher allows you to put a mail merge program together that'll just input your database right onto the postcards themselves. So when you print it out, they're already basically ready to go. You just cut them, and then you got to stamp them and ship them.
I want to respect your time. I obviously have a few more questions. Anything else we should talk about on budget or rate of return that you've calculated that you think the group would benefit from knowing?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't exactly know what the dollar amount is right off the top of my head, but I figured it out. You know, we figure out that it's about 55 cents per touch for the cost of us sending it out. That includes 33 touches. You realize some of these are phone calls, those are free, but like, you know, every year we send out a year at a glance magnet, you know, that costs us probably $250 or so per person to send out, so it's very expensive. But if we do a cost average, it's about 55 cents per touch to send out. And if we're staying in touch for every 6 people that we mail to 30 years, so you just, or 33 times a year, so 6 times 33 times 0.55, or 55 cents per touch, I think it's $112 to make $6,000. So it costs us about $112 to generate 6,000 bucks.
Thank you. That's terrific. Let's move on to the phone call. You make 4 phone calls a year. How do you select your topics, and what would one of those phone calls sound like?
Well, I mean, like the end of last year, the last quarter, the topic was, you know, hey, thanks so much for making it a great year. We really appreciate the opportunity to work with you and your referrals. As a result, it's been our best year ever. We've helped 190-something families buy or sell a home, and we just really wanted to, you know, reach out and say thank you so much for that. We have, you know, tax time comes up in, property tax time comes up the second quarter of the year. So the second quarter phone calls are going to be get around, hey, remember, you're going to get your tax notice. Or depending on how long it takes for us to get to them, you probably already got your tax notice. And we just encourage them to give us a call or you know, let us know if you're worried that their tax valuation came in too high, let me know, because we can help you dispute those taxes. So we help people dispute their taxes in the second quarter. The first quarter right now, we just let them know our goal this year is to help 300 families buy or sell a home. Can we count on you this year for 1 referral? Just 1. Can we count on you for 1? Now, when you do run into that person who's going to consider making a move, will you do me a favor? Will you call me with their information? I promise I'll make you look good. Because what will happen, you guys, is everybody's going to say, oh, I've got your business card, I'll give them your business card. Well, there's a 1 in 10,000 chance they're actually going to call you on the business card. And so what we do is we actually teach our clients how to refer us business, and we have to do it all